Hello and welcome back to the show. So we're going to have Mirage coming up for you soon, which is going to be the pick of Splyce. Now I believe aKis still isn't back in the team yet, which means we have Scrunk playing with 180 ping. Thoughts, Dan?
Well, it does put a bit of a dampener on the whole situation for Splyce. Obviously, it's a big disadvantage for them, and enemy are able to take it, be in a position to abuse that. It's unfortunate timing, but well, it's good to see what they can adjust with at least. At least they have their coach who knows the strategies and so on. So yeah, I can't expect a win here. I think Janko covered it pretty well.
Right, so vENdetta, are you expecting a 2-0 as well?
Yeah, expecting a 2-0. I think Splyce would have had a really good shot at actually winning this map if aKis had been present, but unfortunately that's not the case. So expecting 2-0 for enemy.
I assume Janko's in agreement.
Yeah, I concur.
Well, very brief and succinct there. And it seems that we're all looking for a 2-0 to happen here, but you never know. It depends on how they choose to use him in this and where he can be effective. But with 180 ping, there isn't much effect to be had unless you have a P90 and a lot of flashbangs. We should be into the match very soon. So, I'm not sure what else to say actually. I mean, it's hard to analyze when someone has 180 ping. I believe Splyce will be starting on the CT side. So I do question if they will put Scrunk towards B or towards short, perhaps playing a passive role. Who knows? We're about to find out.
And one saving grace is going to be the fact that as an AWPer, again, Peter will be able to have more of an impact on this map. So, but the thing is also equally, koosta is obviously a beasting right now. He's in really good form, so he's going to have a big contention with the AWP battles is Peter in koosta. So pistol kicking off now, as we can see, and we'll see the bomb make its way through underpass. So this is kind of a classic pistol round where we shall see the pressure coming into middle. And MAiNLiNE actually taking a long-range frag onto Scrunk. So trades coming in as Splyce start to realize what's going on, and they start to set up. And they've got a guy in Palace, which could be very useful later on.
I'm wondering where that smoke went of MAiNLiNE's. Oh, it was the
Jungle smoke.
I'm not sure. It's like in between both places at the moment, but we're going to have a 3 versus 3 situation. Though 2 of the enemy players were tagged. One's gone down. Uber's left with koosta. Will the bomb be planted? They've taken down Peter in the lurk, but Stewie2k is going to be on the boxes, and now it's Uber who is going to be killed if a feather touches him. He does not have the bomb. The only thing he has is the element of surprise, but he needs to pick the right angles here. I think. Did he get spotted there by Stewie? Stewie coming from the wide peak and finishing things off. He was heavily tagged himself. Pistol round to Splyce.
And it's going to be rather interesting to see how Splyce are able to deal with what they know should be a force buy. They should be able to predict that it's going to be a force buy. Every team knows that, the situation. So what is the setup? They're respecting this with the Famises as well. It's good, decent, long range and affordable. Allows them to buy some nades as well. And enemy looking to go for a quick set play onto the B bomb site with a few smokes.
Yeah, and that's where... No, that's not where Scrunk is. Looked wrong at the minimap. But yeah, I think where Scrunk is playing is actually going to be pretty critical to Splyce's defense.
Well, the push is coming into the B bomb site now. Slemmy's in a very strong position. Down goes the bomb. It's a really hard position to deal with, although the isolated player in bench from the smoke might help the T side. Down to 3 versus 3 now. The scout gets taken out as well. It's Uber going for the plant. Can he get it in time? The spray coming in, and indeed he has got a plant for his team, and he could win the round. Scrunk going down left to Stewie. He's picked up a FAMAS as well. Not sure if it had bullets, but he switched back to Tech 9. Moving accuracy could make the difference, but it won't. Stewie just about saving the round for his team.
A very successful force buy though from enemy's side. Get a bomb plant, get 4 kills on, I think it was 4 rifles in total, so 3 rifle players down. Not too shabby at all from enemy, and it's going to show here with the rebuy from Splyce.
Would you consider forcing it up again here if you were enemy, considering the damage done?
Yeah, I would. This is a situation where you could get into that game with chicken, but that could also, I think it's more harmful if you're on the CT side than the T side, but enemy opting to just play it as safe as possible. They could still do damage with the Tech 9s and pistols they've bought now, and looks like they're just going for an A-take here to get a bomb plant down.
With one flash. Oh, okay, they threw nades. That's why I said that. So, yeah, the wall of smokes definitely going to help. That should help him out getting the bomb plant, but in reality, the bomb's going to be sent flying. And looks like Stewie is going to be able to do enough damage on the bomb side as well. So this round is a no-show for enemy GG mostly, as Splyce get themselves some more on the board. So this is really the start that they needed. It means that Peter can get on the AWP more or less immediately, which is probably one of the ways that they're going to be most likely able to win this map.
koosta had enough money to actually buy an AWP with, or basically the glass cannon AWP, but opted to go with an AK and lots of nades. So I'm assuming we're going to see an execute coming out from enemy at a certain point. So top mid smoke. Peter's not going to be able to, oh, I say that, he's not going to be able to find anyone, but then he goes ahead and finds koosta in top mid. And rooRoooo. Last time we saw Splyce play Mirage, rooRoooo had a couple of questionable plays there, and I would definitely categorize that one as one of them. When you've already gotten the opening in mid, there's no need to put on extra pressure right away. And just like that, Splyce gave away the advantage they had in that round.
Yeah, but it is enemy GG who need to capitalize, and we're about to see their method in doing so. It feels like it seems like they felt like there's a guy trapped on the far right side of the window there, investing a lot of grenades into window. The smoke makes sense though, as they start to make the move towards the B-bomb site. Slemmy's lying in wait though, and this is a great position, and you can see that he is going to lock it down. So this is going to create a lot of issues here for enemy GG, losing the apartments, because now they can't really safely plant the bomb. And Skrunk is able to get out there. Uber is going to go down, Skrunk taking number 2, and that's the bomber. So this is all but over for enemy GG in this round, as Splyce are looking to have a pretty clean round. Only one player lost, unless Relyks can make it a little bit worse here in the outset. But it will be difficult.
Yeah, he might even have to just hold on to that AK with time running down as well, only 15 seconds left. But really nice decision from Slemmy right there. rooRoooo goes down on catwalk. He knows that he can actually play around that and not be, you know, if he places himself by the bench in Forest, then he's going to be susceptible from attacks from both sides, and it's going to be really hard for him to just stay alive. By taking that aggressive position in apps, it's one, going to give quite a bit of time notice for the rest of the guys on his team to rotate over, but also he gets a great opportunity to actually catch people off guard, which he did. And just by being in the apps at that point and having enemy know that, as you said, they can't really ever put down the bomb safely unless they manage to take him down.
And now enemy in a really poor position because of that play shutting down their rounds. They've got an AK and a few Tech 9s, and they're looking to get an execute into B again.
Actually a bit surprised that they opt to force buy here. Instead of just waiting one more round and trying to get an op on koosta or something to that effect, because now they don't really have that much of an opportunity to really mess with the economy of Splyce.
I do enjoy the fact that they just decided to go through the Molotov and basically extinguish it with their own smoke. So it's going to be all in about the chaos right now, and so far it's looking fairly okay for enemy GG. They get the bomb plant and a small setup, but a setup time for the positions. Peter, though, with that AWP, putting one in the chest of MAiNLiNE as the rest of his teammates start to circle in onto the bomb site. Skrunk in a crazy important position. He's going to spray down Relyks wildly as it's just Uber left on the bomb site against Skrunk, but a lot of time has gone on the bomb. He just has to play this for the time, and that is a really good incendiary. That's so perfect. It forces Uber out of the position, and Skrunk has just barely enough time to get the defuse because of that quick thinking.
That 180 ping hero. Skrunk has come up big and starts, whoa, now he's only got 107 in ping?
Wow.
Did they swap servers?
Magic. There we go. we got
so
there in the end. Like,
yeah,
where is Katie going with this?
The magic reconnect that automatically drops your ping by 70. I want that.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a battle here for Peter. He's got koosta to face up against with on the AWP. And koosta has positioned himself towards Palace actually. So looking towards the CPL angle, but Peter's going aggressively with his teammates in middle with rooRoooo as well, and they're going to clean house, and that's going to create a lot of pressure here for enemy GG to get something done. They did get a kill.
Peter, did you not see the guy going into ladder? They must have.
Yeah, it seems like they know. They got the call there, or at least they suspect it due to the fact that they lost short. rooRoooo though is in a problem getting shot down from below. And we shall have quite the predicament now for the Splyce side, as the T's have got the bomb boosted into window, and they don't really have the best way to cover that at the moment. Peter has to look in about 3 different places, and he just can't do that. Timing is working out very poorly for him. He's Stewie2k can get something back in the way of a frag onto Relyks, but koosta in on the headshots, and now it's just Slemmy left. And he's going to be coming in from jungle, and I think all eyes should be on there. Some grenades coming in as well. I think koosta actually going back in the apartments, giving up the angle just for a second, allowing Slemmy out. But this nade should give up the game here. Incendiary thrown, and koosta very quick on these shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's definitely doing work. He makes an immediate impact the second he gets an op in his hands, which is really valuable to a team. And well, that round turned out to be really unfortunate for Splyce. Peter ending up in a position where he would have gotten sandwich any which way he would have gotten or would have gone. Really just messes things up for Splyce.
And now we have a fast middle push from enemy GG, not sending anybody underpass just yet, taking 3 players straight onto the top mid, which can be quite risky against an AWPer, but doesn't seem to bother them too much. They seem to want the engagements, and considering they have the weapon advantage, you can't blame them all too much. Although Peter could be the X factor in this round for Splyce, holding on to the sniper rifle. And Slemmy with the flash in from a teammate is going to get some serious work done here, but maybe not serious enough, only one. Koosta looking through the smoke. Oh, he misses that one. And I don't know what happened to Skrunk there. He went through the smoke and he met the end of MAiNLiNE's barrel. So just Slemmy and Peter left now. It is a grim ordeal for the Splyce side.
It really is, and well, that force buy doesn't quite work out for Splyce. But there you also see the result of enemies' force buys from 2 of the previous rounds, where they actually managed to down Splyce nearly all the way down to, well, I think they got them down to 1 member both times. And that really weighs in on you when you're on the CT side. But Splyce opting to the smart thing here, just holding on to the weapons. Peter can still have a massive impact with that op if enemy choose to go for mid control, which they have done quite a few rounds now.
Absolutely. And looks like no one will be dying at the end of the round. We'll have 2 saves for Slemmy and Peter indeed, as mentioned. And enemy GG can keep applying that pressure with the big buys rolling in. And Splyce, will they decide to force up behind us? Looks like they will just get a few nades and a couple pistols to support the saved weapons.
So let's have a look and see how mobile Peter will be. He's going to try and announce himself in one place and then spin around and find another avenue of destruction, perhaps. That is definitely... Oh, I was going to say a failed smoke grenade, but of course it was probably a jumping nade instead. The B bomb site has been abandoned by the Splyce team, and enemy are about to breach. We'll see Peter getting a nice shot onto koosta, and that's definitely the first frag you want to get in that situation.
Yeah, that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure in as far as the sniper rifle. He was very strong, very fast with that. But they still have players in good positions for the post-plant. So they're hitting these shots, and they are going to be hitting all of the shots. Just 3 players left now for Splyce as they make their way slowly but surely into the site. Getting some good fragging in here as they contest this. Up close and personal, we've got Slemmy, but he will go down to Uber. The last life fiber being severed, dramatically so with the AK-47, as we have 2 players left again going for the save now. Peter keeping the AWP alive for his team into the 9th round.
I'm trying to get a hold of a rifle here, not going to find anything though. But does hold on to his CZ at least, so that's some money saved, and now we're going to finally have a full buy coming out from Splyce again.
Right, so the AWP was saved excuse me, by Peter. We'll see what the layout is from the team. 3 people close onto A, expecting perhaps a fast play from the T's, and indeed it will be. That nade's going to sail in and do some damage to MAiNLiNE and co. There's 2 fast frags though for the T side, and the entire, or what remains of the CT side, moving into the B bomb side. Enemy still stuck behind Tetris, still stuck behind a choke point. It's not out of Palace yet either. Splyce, are they going to move into the site? Are they going to find themselves the angles? Indeed, rooRoooo has made his way in. He's got 5 HP, but he's still got the opportunity to do some damage. And 3 frags flying in for Splyce, surviving with 3 players, including the AWP. Enemy just didn't move from the choke point.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the classic error you see from so many T sides actually, where pretty much you have either if it's rushing out on B on Cobble when you get stuck on the plateau, or if it's especially here on Mirage where you get stuck by the Tetris box and not really moving, even though you're up in men, you're still going to have a really hard time actually getting a bomb down or even getting onto the site.
Indeed, and it's a bit reminiscent of that moment in 300 when the guy says our arrows will blot out the sun.
What, Leonidas? What was it? No, it wasn't
Leonidas.
Leonidas. Was it Leonidas? Or something?
No, it was the other guys, the bad guys.
Some other dudes.
The anti-Leonidas?
And yeah, the anti.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
I think
I
Leonidas,
think
to be
that's
fair,
what it's
is
called.
one of the only names I can remember from 300. So, what is that, the stat? So here we go, we've got the push coming in onto the A site. Set play has been executed by enemy GG, but can they take the frags that they need to secure the bomb site? They are very slow, actually, pushing up at the moment. The counter grenades are doing a good job. Peter getting a shot, but there you go, starting to get some frags happening now for enemy GG side as the bomb is being planted, and Skunk is wondering where that is being planted. He's actually going to keep his position. They don't know he's there still. So I do not see this going very well for Uber 1 versus 3. Still don't know if Skunk has even been seen.
I do not think he has been detected.
Yeah, and he's just going to be there until he has to move. Still just keeping himself in position.
He's like just half. He's not sure if he should go or not. Let's see. It is a blind spot, so he can just sit there, starting to move out now, and he's going to. Well, rooRoooo's going to finish things off actually.
A lot of players that would have peaked in his position, but obviously,
think
like, it's the safest thing to do is what he did.
Looking at the last bit of aim there, it seemed that Skrunk was trying to adjust to his ping by aiming in front of the player in anticipation of him moving forward, because he was quite off the mark there. Just a fair bit to the left, but there we go.
Yeah, and well, enemy maybe having a bit of a powwow in T-spawn, talking things over as they decide to force buy. And well, with their previous push towards being a force buy, they did a lot of damage. And well, rotations are some way away, actually. So if they can get a quick frag onto Slemmy here, then this could be really disastrous for Splyce.
As the nade starts to come in, and very early Molotov. By the time the T's get there, the Molotov will have almost gone. Just a bit of a wait there for the T's. And Slemmy going to show himself. Oh, he's got a P90. Only 2 frags for him, though. And that's going to give the CTs a little bit of time to get in position. The bomb, however, will be planted. Peter just off the mark with the knee there. 3 versus 3 retake with 2 rifles for the Splyce side. That's an important Molotov, but a well-timed flashbang now. Lucky being forced from the position. Trying to take him down. koosta looking to get a frag over towards short. Indeed, he will do that. And now it's koosta alone of 2 HP, taken down by Stewie and PTR. And Splyce will take another round.
A pretty strong CT half so far from Splyce, and well, enemy, they do get a bomb plant, so they might be able to scrape up a buy here if they'd like to, but that means no op on koosta unless MAiNLiNE decides to drop one for him. And I think that's a viable option, actually. MAiNLiNE can still get like Kevlar if he drops an op, so might look to do that. Okay, they're just going to go for an eco. So they definitely want to get that op up on koosta.
Just going for the standard set play into the A-bomb side again. We've seen this a few times here from enemy, and they've not had much success really going in their way more or less any of the time, actually. Generally, Splyce seem quite good at responding to it, and we even saw that previously with Skrunk in that position, dug into a hidden spot in the bomb site. And enemy waiting for the nades to dissipate.
This time there's only, well, now there's 3 people from Splyce actually on towards that A-bomb site.
So it's going to be 4 players here, 3. How quickly will they all die? Will they get the bomb down? Just about there, actually. Stewie2k missing the mark with that blind spray. And koosta and Relyks still creeping around. Smoke providing excellent cover. Going all ninja mode. But it will be the end for them. The end of the line, the end of the road. And another round for Splyce. They look, I mean, you know, I think I mentioned this in the pre-game. This is one of the maps where, you know, for this team, I always thought that they were very comfortable, and we are seeing a lot of comfort on the CT side. But also, I feel like enemy are struggling to put rounds together once they get middle control, and they're struggling to get a lot out of their set plays as well.
I feel like for the most part, we've seen set plays once enemy have had force buys or ecos, and a lot of pick-based defaults coming out when they've actually had buys, and Peter's going to pick up MAiNLiNE through the smoke in mid there, so actually, why not 2?
Wow. Great start, and the CTs are now swarming onto the mid area. Good cover just in time in the underpass. Relyks wondering, he's like, guys, I'm in front of Palace, guys. But they're all dead.
Yeah, so nobody actually making it anywhere really on the map for enemy. Peter making sure of that. And he's definitely having a bigger impact this game than what he did on Inferno. So that's good to see from him.
This is the pick of Splyce. I'm going to have a quick replay now of those VAC kills. Definitely going to be banned before the game ends. Orb coming out onto koosta as well, though he's going to be sans armor, so again, needing to be quick on the trigger. Enemy looking to take mid once more. You see Peter is ready and willing, although this... Actually, it's rooRoooo in the CPL position. And Peter, meanwhile, is over towards B bomb site. So they're mixing up the location of the AWP, trying to keep enemy guessing. And we now have a player in connector. With the lurker towards A slope, it seems the bomb's going to rotate for the split. Lucky almost in the A site itself.
There we go, we've got the creep coming in. Enemy GG perhaps wanting to go for more of a contact play potentially, but Suen actually going to pop flash himself in and get promptly eliminated. So perhaps enemy GG can have more of an opportunity to take this round. Now they're in a 4 versus 4, and Stewie2k not on the mark with that spray, only gets one. And that's a 3 versus 3. This is good for the T's. MAiNLiNE picking up one as well as Lucky. Now we have problems here, as it's for Splyce at least, as they have to go for the rotation into the retake. Nate's over the top here, and what is that? koosta completely unaware of Peter's position, preoccupied with this Pico to CT spawn. Didn't cost him his life though. Enemy GG looked pretty good in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Splyce to cross because they don't have any smokes left. They do have a one flash onto Slemmy, but just going for the duels there. They do need to find a frag sooner rather than later. Peter too fast for koosta, but he's got a crossfire, takes down Lucky, and there's one player left and MAiNLiNE trying to escape to CT spawn. Almost dead now, and Peter has found a completely ridiculous clutch. That crossfire should never happen like this.
Not like this.
You can't do this, Peter.
Great job by Peter, but also some big mistakes being made by enemy there. And something we definitely didn't see on the first map. Here you go. And there should definitely be a punish coming up from MAiNLiNE in that position when Peter is so heavily focused on the guys in pit. And instead, Peter's given enough room to actually pick up all 3 frags in that situation. So right now, enemy definitely had an opportunity to get way more rounds than what they're currently sitting on. Again, they're going for mid control.
Peter getting caught out. Scrunk not revealing his position just yet. Not wanting to overextend into mid, where he would likely be traded, but Lucky going to come out with a fast peek, take him down anyway. Strong man advantage now for enemy. They're going to have a 2-man advantage with Stewie being taken down by Relyks. Bomb moving away from the mid area as the split into A starts again.
So Splyce finally looking like they are in a big disadvantage. This is the first time we've seen this for ages. Enemy GG finally getting some more success on their shots. And just rooRoooo left on the retake. So you can't really expect too much from him here. And it's looking like we'll get the 4-11 finish for enemy GG. And I don't know whether that will be enough or not. We shall have to wait and see. As rooRoooo goes for the attempt. He does find the first kill, but that is it. Uber is going to arrive onto the scene. And that's going to be that. 4-11. What do you make of this one?
Well, I definitely think enemy could have had quite a few more rounds, but Splyce doing a pretty good job. Peter stepping up to the plate for sure with his 17-5 scoreline after the first half. I like the fact that Splyce changed things up every now and again. So they would have aggression in mid. After, depending on what Peter saw in mid, they would have people coming either to help him out from connector to just sandwich whoever went aggressive past the vision of Peter, or they would have rooRoooo at times pushing aggressively with this team and not just alone after Peter had picked up a frag. So definitely nice to see that Splyce are working out. And I was also really impressed by Scrunk, how he was able to get as many frags as he did.
Well, there's a fast push from Splyce over towards B bomb site. It's basically a B rush. That's a perfect flashbang, but no frags. He has slowed things down though, which means the rotation can come in. There was a flank on the site, but it won't be needed. MAiNLiNE going down 3 versus 4. Uber trying to even things up and get himself back into the site as they're kind of stuck in the shop at the moment. All the remaining CTs bunching together. Uber taking down Stewie. But now where are the other players? He is going to get crucified by Scrunk there, leaving Uber alone. Scrunk goes down. 2 more to find. I wonder if there's a kit on the floor somewhere because the clock is ticking faster and faster here. Won't be required. Slemmy finding the final headshot of the round.
Pretty straightforward B rush coming out from Splyce there, and it's like you said, that perfect flashbang just really messed up MAiNLiNE. So instead of potentially picking up 2 to 3 kills, only gets away with 1. And sure, it It even delays Splyce a tiny bit because they end up in a bit of a shooting duel with MAiNLiNE down by the car, but at that point they still got significant afterplant positions to the point where enemy couldn't really breach the site before the bomb goes down.
And there it is, just the hopelessness from enemy with those stock pistols mostly. Not much they can really expect here as Splyce take their time.
I took a picture once of a tyre, and it was called Hope and Despair.
A tyre?
You don't get it, do you?
No, I don't.
Hope and Despair.
Oh my god. Well then, on that
bombshell,
wonderful note,
Hope and Despair.
We will get Splyce slowly making their way in for the finish onto the B bomb site. It's been a long round for this anti-eco. They've been very cautious, but they're finally going to get there in the end. As we have one last player to be cleaned up. Bit of a nuisance, but he will go down in the end. And Splyce are going to take this one without too much further issue.
Happy to see the enemy opted not to force spy. I think they did it a tad too much on their T side, which limited the amount of ops they could get out on koosta, and also just they didn't really seem to have that much of a plan once they actually had buy rounds on their T side. So most of their executes actually came out of their force buys and ecos. So hopefully they're just gonna hold on to all of those dollars and get some, or quite a significant amount of needs and an op on koosta going into that first buy round, because this should be another standard anti-eco coming out from Splyce.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty obvious the result of this one, I think. Generally speaking, Splyce have been very good with these anti-eco strategies, so it would be pretty weird for them to falter here. A little close position, again, if they get the first shot, you never know what's going to happen, but first one goes towards Splyce. Good incendiary, but a bit of a mess here, just for a moment. Will eventually finish the way that it should have done, but
koosta, you appear to be on fire.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much. It's 14-4. Enemy GG not showing as much strength from Mirage. Definitely looking like a much weaker map for them so far. And Peter, he showed up in the moments he needed to as well. And Stewie as well on the entry hype.
Is that a...
Oh, that's cool, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be deeper. I would like to see that from... Well, we can't see it from the CT perspective, as nobody is in CPL. koosta being burned away again. Familiar feeling, burning of his flesh. Ooh, did he make a connection there?
No.
Not sure if he did. But MAiNLiNE and Uber coming in for two super fast frags. The hold of A might be quite real here. Rotation coming in. Relyks and Uber with two more frags. Relyks finally gets taken down. And it's Peter versus two. Everyone's dying. I have no idea what just happened. But Lucky and MAiNLiNE are the only people to survive. An expensive round for both teams. And enemy might have a ropey buy here. We'll see what Splyce opt to do.
And Lucky did not manage to pick up the op for koosta either. So that mid defense is going to be slightly weakened here. And still plenty of money on the side, or I say plenty, but still enough money on the side of Splyce to actually get a pretty decent buy-in. A lot of Molotovs as well, so if they decide to go towards B, like it seems like they're setting up for it, they could Molotov all of those nooks and crannies close to the apartment area while they're jumping out.
The march is headed in that direction. How much damage will this grenade do?
An amazing...
Practically none. 13 damage on that grenade. Well, there's going to be a lot more damage here from Lucky. How many more bullets does he have? Enough to cause much havoc here to this T side. Splyce getting wiped out. Enemy not losing a single player there. It's going to be important going forward. Splyce will be wanting to wear down their economy bit by bit, but they'll have to wait as their own economy is in tatters.
Yep, it's going to take a while, unfortunately, for them to take it over the line, but it does seem inevitable at this point. To be looking for a crazy shot here with the Eagle, but it's unlikely. It would be quite hilarious, though, if he was to pick that one up. And now he's got teammates coming from below, so it's kind of funny. koosta being baited into going quite deep into the window. Could potentially be taken down, but he looks pretty safe at this point. And it's going to be a slow but inevitable series of deaths for the Splyce members. And they will finally all be finished off. 14-7, and we are going to see some money for Splyce, so they can buy, but I like their decision here not to actually go for it, and instead to go for a quasi-buy, so they can actually have AWPs and grenades and aKis.
Yeah, no need to rush it if you're Splyce in this situation. You have so many rounds.
Yeah, they have double the score of Splyce at present.
5 HEs, they're gonna...
Enemy, sorry.
Okay, 5 HEs into the window where there is no one.
Well, they've taken quick aggression towards mid. MAiNLiNE will not be traded in that easy kill of rooRoooo. The final nade flying in, and MAiNLiNE will be finished off eventually. So, where will the final Splyce? It's just not working for me today, is it? Where will the final Splyce players go? Bit of a tongue twister there. Headed towards the B bomb site, as Cadian is beautifully demonstrating.
Lucky being the sole defender of that B bomb set as well, but I think he should be able to, well, delay enough, and we can see Relyks also moving over here, figuring that something's up.
Looks like Lucky has spotted the assailants, or would-be assailants, coming into the site now. Slemmy will be taken down by Relyks. Relyks taking the second as well. Lucky taking the third and final player. Splyce fail again, but we should see the buy coming out. Indeed, we will. Insta-buy of the AWP here for Peter.
Yeah, is salvation in the hands of Splyce now to take it over the line, or will they actually allow for this comeback to happen? Because it's starting to get into the territory where NWGG are finding some comfort here. And T-Side is a very different beast indeed. And just takes koosta to have that performance that he had on Inferno. He's going to be smoked away from window, as Splyce get almost every player up top mid, which is quite interesting. Are they going to walk short towards B with no one in apartments to support? What is the plan here? Are they going to go back towards A after having someone dug into either short or connector?
Well, they're using quite a few nades actually just to get control over mid, so I'm assuming they're looking for a pick here before they decide on what side they want to go towards.
It's a nice flash onto koosta. Elsewhere, Relyks is being taken down by Peter, and they did start moving Slemmy over towards B, so the options available to them. Uber's pushing through the smoke on A, though, somehow not seen by Stewie2k. But the bomb is headed towards A, as opposed to B, which has now been exited by Slemmy, with rooRoooo in the ladder room, who can be very strong for the rotations. But he's going to get taken down by koosta from the back just before he takes down the short player for the CTs. What is the CTs' read on this?
It seems like they're reading it as an A-take, weirdly enough, with the rotations. The smokes go down, and now it's, well, actually, ooh, MAiNLiNE's going to rotate back and forth. He's not really sure.
Well, we've got a bit of a meat shield here, and Slemmy will indeed save the planter. Uber going down, but 2 fast frags for the CTs put Peter in a nasty position. He's capable of this, though, but once his position is known on A slope, it might be hard to take down the final 2 players. Waiting for the first one to arrive. There goes Lucky. Now they know where he is. koosta maybe peeking the angle. It's not planted for Peter, just bouncing along. koosta missing the shot, but finishing him off with the P250 there. Peter ignoring the shot once it was missed to try and stop the defuse from coming in, but couldn't get round the box fast enough.
Bit of an odd rotation actually coming in from enemy as well. I'm not really sure why they wanted to rotate MAiNLiNE off of catwalk instead of having him holding there and not having koosta rotate over towards A and just sit in jungle trying to peek the cross or potentially hold off apps. Because with one guy on catwalk as well, you can also have control over the connector area, which is impossible from the area where you would have had koosta.
And we're going to get a bog standard play into A here from Splyce. They've got the 3-prong set up, more or less. They need to get one guy into connector, which they're doing right now. Then they can hit from connector. From Palace with 3 players actually dropping onto the site quickly. And then one guy up from slope with the bomb actually. So interesting setup. Let's see if it works out for them. Got a long range spray there from Uber. It's not going to be too good with it. And the nade will actually miss completely. But his teammates are doing more than enough work. And the bomb is going to be lost. And they can't even get onto the site here. This is a bit of a failure from Splyce, as enemies survive with 3 players, and they are only 4 away now. They are making this a realistic possibility that they can equalize or even take this map to eliminate Splyce.
It would be crazy if they actually managed to bring it back all the way from, what was it, 14-6?
Yeah, something like that.
Something to that effect. Yeah. Well, they're doing it with pretty solid holds as of right now, but still lots of time for Splyce to find those 2 elusive rounds. They do have quite a few nades and a couple of Molotovs as well with this force buy. So they're definitely not just looking for a bomb plant here.
Well, let's see what they can do. Let's see if enemy choose to push through the smoke, and the nature of the smokes coming down from the CTs. It seems that, sorry, from the Ts. It seems that they've cut the sights in half, but not the way you normally see it. Connects are shut down as well. So a different approach from Splyce. That may allow them to get close to jungle. Indeed, look at the positioning here around jungle and connector, where many, if not all of the CTs are, with Uber coming in CT, but he can't find anyone to shoot. Relyks and koosta are going to get the first 2 frags. Got to take Nine's close. Scrunk waiting for the flank, but he's running out of teammates once he does it. There's 1. 3 CTs now coming from the CT area. I'll make that 2 as Stewie2k gets a frag. And Skrunk's going to run distraction, but can the CTs get a defuse in? I think there was a Molotov on the site there. The smoke's coming in now, and MAiNLiNE is alone versus 2. Can the T's get this round? MAiNLiNE running out of time. Going to hold the defuse now. Can he be seen by Scrunk? Scrunk's going to shut him down, and it is game point here for Splyce.
That was more disastrous than my dating life, James.
That's pretty disastrous.
It is a calamity.
Should almost be given up.
yeah, that is for sure. All right, so 15-10 and Splyce looking to steal this one away. It did look like enemy were, I mean, they should have won that round, I think, and they were on the comeback trail, but they've been disrupted. But Splyce have to close. They've got to close now. They've been decidedly finding difficulty there in their buy rounds. So, ooh, this push from MAiNLiNE could be quite good here. There's 2 players close. Let's see how much damage he can get done here. He's going to hold a slight off angle, and they're not going to expect it. Oh, gets the second frag as well, and this is a big problem for Splyce. They've lost the bomb. They have to completely change their round, and in this chaos, they're going to be likely making some mistakes which can be capitalized upon by enemy GG.
Bomb is definitely in no man's land. There are 2 smokes, so they could try to perhaps put a smoke down to rescue the bomb, but they'll have no utility going towards the sites, and they're running out of personnel to execute said utility. koosta getting naded.
I'm surprised there was no flash over there for koosta. There was no support at all, even though they knew the bomb was there and he's being challenged. And that's allowed actually Splyce to get some more opportunities, but it will largely be shut down here, as we can see up on short.
MAiNLiNE able to finish it off as well, and actually quite surprised to see in that previous round Splyce do a round that was popularized by Luminosity, which is probably not a big surprise that that's something that a Peter team would actually know of.
Not a big Splyce?
No.
Oh dear, you.
But
you're disgraceful.
I'm on Thorin's here now.
Yeah, quite surprised actually that enemy couldn't recognize the strat and actually react better. They were way too passive actually, and just sitting behind the smokes and giving up so much time for Splyce.
Oh, are they going to try to fake here? They've got. This is. I don't know if I
don't like this.
I do not like this at all either, because
you can't let the bomb be this alone.
Because probably, let's say they make even a couple kills on this A site. Still, that's like a 1-on-3 with a Tech 9 against rifles after plant. They are gambling massively here. Massive gamble.
Indeed they are. Well, gravity is taking its effect, and they are on the site, but there's still 1 person, Uber, just waiting, Lucky waiting on the B bomb site. He's not going to move until they see the bomb. They've seen the bomb is down, the round is won.
Yeah, that's the GG. And there's the GG.
That's matchmaking 101. Alright guys, I'm going to go B with the bomb, you guys go A.
I mean, those plays can work, but you can't do it on a round like this, and especially when it's your lifeline.
Well, surely logic would say that those rounds work if you, for example, kill everybody A. But then if you do that, then the bomb might as well be A as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you don't see the bomb on that radar, why would you abandon the site?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can expect your teammates to hang on there. Oh dear, that was rather disastrous again. So
it wasn't a full committal buy from Splyce though. I think it was more of a, well, we know we're going to double eco, so let's just spend some money and hope to get a bomb plant so we can get an earlier buy type of situation. But still, I don't see how it's going to be very probable for them to actually get a bomb plant down with a strategy like that. Yeah,
it's worth mentioning at this point that, again, Titan had a half buy / force buy and executes on the B bomb site for those specific scenarios where they want to get a bomb plant, and they've done it. I've seen him do it twice. I haven't seen him do it in recent months, and I haven't seen anybody copy it either, which is, I mean, definitely doing it in North America, for example, they definitely would not be prepared for such a play, and the team with the discipline that we've seen from Splyce so far could benefit from stealing that tech.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a formality here, just finishing off the round. Slemmy is going to die, finally. So, into the next round, The overtime is very realistic here. Struggling to speak, James. My words leave me.
I wish I could help you with that, Dan, but I can't.
I think we suffer from the same thing, James. So the AWPs are out for koosta. Actually, the AWP is the singular AWP is out for koosta. And Splyce, what kind of round are we looking at? Oh wow, look at this mid take coming in from enemy GG. 4 players.
Let's make that 3. As Lucky's being taken down, but so far so good. They have destroyed the forces of the Splyce side. Bomb has been spotted towards B. Nice runs of coming in from MAiNLiNE. He needs to waste time and survive. That's one way to do it. Shooting Peter straight in the face. Being traded by rooRoooo. Can rooRoooo get a plant now? The CTs are streaming in. The flash is coming his way. And the nades as well. Put himself for 1 versus 1. But he just can't get a frag quite yet. Uber finally goes down. And rooRoooo will be blasted into space by koosta.
Right.
This is actually really cool from enemy, and this is something that is apparently a trend on their end. That's on Inferno as well. They would do this as soon as they know that they've gotten a couple of rounds. The economy of Splyce was in tatters. Whenever they knew Splyce were having a new buy, their first buy round in a while, they would go aggressive. So that's when we saw the mid push on Inferno happening, and this time we did the same thing on Mirage, and it really threw Splyce off both times.
Surprise! Peter goes down because MAiNLiNE is in the underpass and has been as yet undetected. 3 more Ts coming up. The mid area going fast into short. Looks like a B split because the bomb is lurking, but down goes Stewie. On short, can Lucky get any more? He will have the inkling that the full push is coming his way. He will want to try and hold on for his team to rotate as well. koosta coming in for the save as well. Just as Lucky goes down, Scrunk will be falling. So it's a 4 versus 2. koosta missing the shot there. We've got more CTs in the shop with 1 still in connector.
Bomb is locked in force though.
This is quite precarious for Splyce. They're on tender hooks right now, as rooRoooo needs to win this engagement, but Uber's covering the angle.
Here's the bomb.
And boom, there it is. He's got the bomb indeed, and that is gone. All right, there you go, James, with the trumpet there. The mouth trumpet comes into play. And Slemmy, oh dear, he's going to die, and we all get an overtime. And Janko did the equivalent of just dropping the mic there. Well, he literally just
Dropped
did.
the iPad.
He did just drop the mic.
We'd ask Janko what he thinks, but Janko's leaving the room, quite literally.
He's
So,
disgusted.
Overtime. And the interesting thing here as well is that you have to favor enemy GG going into this overtime, because another factor to come into play is we know that Peter's quite an emotional player, generally speaking. I wonder how impacted he or the team morale is at this moment in time, especially with the stand-in.
He went 5 and 14 in that second half.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's
koosta,
not
on
a
the
good
other
sign.
hand, started out with 10 and 17, and he's now at 22 and something 20.
And enemy get to start on the CT side as well, which is definitely going to benefit them.
They are going up against a Splyce team who may be angry having lost the lead that they had. Pushing the A site now. We've lost 2 players on the CT side. Relyks still in control of the CT area of A, but he can't stop the bomb plant from going down. 2 fast frags coming in for the CTs as they fight for control. We've got a bit of a crossfire, but Slemmy's in a precarious position. The wide peak coming in from Relyks. Slemmy will go down, leaving Peter alone as Scrunk has fallen as well. Looking to get his crosshair towards MAiNLiNE, but he won't do it in time. Enemy with the first round of overtime.
Pretty solid recovery right there. It looks like it would be a fairly straightforward round for Splyce once they get those 2 entry frags. They even get into okay afterplant positions. rooRoooo and 1 more player from Splyce was actually pretty aggressively held up within smokes, and obviously it's pretty hard to play from inside the smoke, especially when you're down to 16 HP like rooRoooo. But those 2 quick kills that enemy got there just gave them the confidence to push forward.
So now it's going to be Splyce moving 2 players in the B apartments and going for the fast B split. No messing around here, no mid-round play, just get themselves in the bomb site. And they're actually making a very fast approach, so it looks like it's working out, but can they get the kills? First entry point is available to them now that they killed this short player, but they are down a couple men and they still need to get the bomb planted. Nice tap from Relyks there. And another bit of spray onto the next player. Relyks doing big damage, and the final tapping will come in. Relyks doing his best Michael Flatley impression, and we shall see the 17-15 scoreline. Enemy GG are looking quite good at the moment.
Yeah, and Splyce's B push right there, pretty discombobulated, really. the 3 guys in apps were so slow to actually get out. Even after they've managed to pick up the guy in forests, you still have 2 players left in apps who haven't been able to move out. And it's a similar issue pretty much on any site you try to take. If you get stuck, you become such an easy target for the CTs to actually lock down.
And now it's the mid take for Splyce, but enemy GG, they have potentially crossfire from short, although the short player is actually going to abandon that position and go more deep into the B bomb site. So they are giving up middle almost completely at the moment. They don't have any knowledge as to what Splyce are doing. They're giving them so much freedom here. And you'll see the kill coming in from rooRoooo there on connector. So this should be a very strong round now for Splyce as they look to move in, but Relyks is in a very important position. He will get flashed, he will get taken down, and now enemy GG are in a horrendous position moving forwards. MNL or MAiNLiNE getting taken down for free, and that's not a good look. Bomb is planted and Lucky. He's actually going to deliver a frag onto Peter, so all of a sudden turning things around with the fragging. But it's all on to Uber once again. And we'll have to see whether or not he can deliver here. Looks like he will not be able to deliver anything in this instance. So Splyce picking up 1 round there. But giving up middle for free against Splyce, that seemed to be the major issue there.
Yeah, I think enemy might have given up on mid because koosta is normally the guy playing there in mid, but every time Splyce wants to go mid, they invest an incredible amount of nades to just take that control anyway. And that time, they actually go before the smoke. And well, enemy with the countermeasures to that mid control that's been going on from Splyce's end, but Stewie's made his way onto the A bomb site, though fairly alone right now.
So an early disadvantage for Splyce in this round, although Stewie is underneath Uber. Unbeknownst to Uber, does he realise where these nades are coming in from? He doesn't seem to. Stewie finally realises what's going on. I think they both do, and he's going to get wrecked by Uber. rooRoooo's going to get 1 kill in revenge, but it's a 4 versus 2 now. There are only 2 CTs on the site though. One is blind, getting the vision back just in time to find the frag. rooRoooo alone now in connector, the flank coming in from short, and that's going to be that in the second last round of the first half of overtime 1.
And seeing how Peter has been buying up on AWP pretty much every single round, you could tell how much of a tear that actually has on the economy of Splyce. They're actually going to have to drop an AWP for Peter. And if they hadn't won that single round, they did, we would have seen a completely broke Splyce team.
Yeah, it's got the Scar out on the auto sniper out on koosta. So that's a bit of a mix-up there from enemy GG. It's really good at holding down pretty much any position, and very good if there are smokes down. So if there's a set play onto the A site, he should be able to spam through with great efficiency as the players do rush in. And he's got support here from Uber as well, so Splyce could be walking into a death trap. Oh, the spray comes in. koosta only gets a single frag. That is an absurd result. That was way too easy for Splyce there. Maybe the positioning is a little bit off, having Uber right next to koosta, drawing all the attention into that one spot for multiple players to promptly gun down.
Who is going to win this map?
It's hard to say. We're going to go into the 3-2 situation for enemy GG. They'll have the advantage, but I mean, they only got 4 rounds in regular time on their T side, so you can't have much confidence in their T side, generally speaking. At least they have money, I suppose.
Yeah, they will have had some, and that was one of actually the bigger issues they had during their regular T side. The fact that they constantly force spot, so they weren't really in a situation to actually get proper buy-ups every round. They're gonna have that opportunity now, but still, as you said, only 4 rounds in regular time on their T side. So the fact that Splyce managed to get 2 here in overtime is pretty big.
Well, we'll see what information they can glean from those previous rounds and the different approach they can perhaps take. koosta standing on the boxes in mid, somewhat brazenly. Slemmy coming in from short, but there's 2 frags. 2 people lost for Splyce so far. Make that 3. Only MAiNLiNE taken down in a trade. And, well, there we go. Good start so far. It is the first of 21 rounds to prove victorious here on Mirage. So, enemy are suddenly 1 round away from match points.
Yeah. There we saw the same thing that Splyce have done pretty much throughout their entire CT side in the regular time, where Peter takes a shot in mid, and you see the instant barrage of CT players coming out to help him through connector and catwalk. The only problem this time was that Peter didn't actually get the first kill, and it just ended up being a complete grinder that Splyce team ran into.
So now it's going to be the set play on B. I think we saw enemy GG try this quite a few times, and it got shut down pretty easily in many occasions, but perhaps this will be different. They got the AWP on koosta as well. Lots of counter grenades as Splyce try to stop this one. Slemmy going below the window, spraying down the first player. The bomb is now lost as they struggle to get through the window. They're way too slow here, and now Slemmy, he actually gets taken down, but the rotation's already in the bomb site. Enemy GG needs something special to save this one as the CTs push further and further up to stop this push, and this is quite ridiculous because of the blindness. Oh my god, that is ridiculous indeed. Stewie2k now, he can absolutely do this. Two incredibly critically wounded players for enemy GG. 9 health, 28 on Relyks, and Stewie goes for the spray, but it's not going to happen. And what is this?
koosta.
Constant blinds, constant flashbangs. I haven't seen anything like that, I don't think, in this game before. It's quite amusing to watch.
I love the fact that koosta was wildly blind, decides to drop a flash on top of himself as well, just because.
Just to add to the fun, vENdetta,
Yeah.
of course. So it's match point here for enemy GG. koosta going to eat a massive nade as he comes in. Scrung to take him down, and enemy GG have almost been immediately wiped out here. Less than 15 seconds on the clock, and they've lost 3 players. That.
Yeah, it looks like it's should be the round for Splyce here, unless you see something a bit nuts, but it's not going to happen. So, enemy, they do seem to rely upon a very gambly playstyle. It seems like they're aware that their defaults weren't working very well in the regular time, and you know we saw this set play onto the B bomb site here, and they just went for a set play onto the A side, and that playstyle can be quite gambly if you don't try to take map control first, maybe get a pick first before doing it. It becomes very gambly, and that seems to be the way that they think they can win this, or the way that they have to be able to win this one.
Well, enemy GG have 2 more bites of the cherry.
This is a pretty funky setup from Scrunk. I'm not going to find anyone in underpass just yet, but might catch someone off surprise here.
So what information can the Splyce side glean at the moment? Lucky winning the duel. Down goes rooRoooo. So early advantages here for enemy. Bomb has not been spotted. Slemmy getting aggressive now as he needs to. Almost a 2-man spray down. Relyks going to get the kill, but gives the game away as the bomb has been spotted now. Peter trying to do what he can. Forcing his way through the fire. Stopping the bomb plant from going down. Straight in the face of Relyks. Man advantage for enemy. And Peter will finish off koosta with a P250. Didn't have much health. Uber to take down Stewie to leave Peter alone. And enemy will take it 21-18. 2-0 over Splyce. So
How many rounds did they get in a row to actually get to the overtime?
all around.
Well, it was 14-6,
yeah.
and then they made it to 14-10, I want to say, and then from there on, yeah,
Yes.
where they got around. So there we go.
So
Right.
how did we feel about that push into the shop with the bomb?
I must say I got flashbacks from the Complexity game yesterday.
I'm feeling a bit ill, James.
And I feel, yeah, exactly. I feel a bit ill, and it didn't really help that rooRoooo was the man in charge.
Do you know how I felt?
Do tell.
Janko, what were your thoughts on that map?
Well, it should have been Splyce's map. Honestly, I mean, yeah, it was a great performance from enemy in the second half to come back, but they were up, as you guys pointed out, 14-6. I mean, we said it time and time again, when you have such an advantage, it's expected of you to close the map out, and they weren't able to do that. But I have to say, it was also a couple of great setups from enemy. You know, they would either push mid a couple of rounds, they would have this defensive setup as well that worked pretty well for them. I have a example later on when we get the thingy again, the stats healing
Thingy,
again,
official term.
that when it didn't work once. But yeah, I feel bad for Splyce. I have to say that they had to play with a stand-in who had 170 ping, like we can hear, well, like we can see, like we can see here, it can get really detrimental.
I do wonder if there was nobody else they could have found to play as a sub with their coach helping things in the coach role, because surely that would be superior to having a player with 170 ping.
But
I
on the
agree.
server.
Well, I guess that could be an argument, but then you would have a stand-in who didn't know what your team is doing. So then you would have to base things solely on defaults. And we could tell that well, Splyce definitely didn't want to do defaults every single time. They had different plans and different setups that they wanted to execute, and that's going to be really hard to do if you have someone who's not familiar with your team's style of play. So I think there's I think there's arguments for both sides. And for the second map, I think the ping apparently wasn't that big of an issue. It was back to 110-ish ping.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, still not optimal, but I could see that working. It's not like Scrunk was the reason they lost the match either. Obviously, a bit unfortunate situation there where we saw in the replay with him by force spraying down on koosta not being able to hit a shot. But overall, I think it did a pretty good job given the circumstances.
Okay, I'm not sure if we are ready for
Yes,
Janko's presentation. We are. Please go forward.
I don't know.
We are
I
about
hope
to
production
enter
is ready as well.
the Janko zone.
Yes? Ready? Okay, boys. So this is the round, as you can see, 14-10 for Splyce still. Enemy won 4 rounds in a row, and Splyce is here on a quasi-buy, like Samurai, I think, coined the term. So they have around 3k. They don't want to go eco. There's no need to go eco because the next if they lose the round, they'll get another 3,400. So they decide to just buy a couple of pistols, couple of nades, Kevlars. So even if they lose this round, with the amount of money they spend, they'll still have a healthy buy in the next round. So I'm gonna play it now. We'll see they have a 4-1 setup. They're gonna go for the smokes around the site so they can push towards the connector area and the stairs area. And we will see how at 1.3 of the here. Okay, so at this point you can see that these 3 players, koosta, MNL, and Relyks, they're all at the same spot, which is also cut off by a smoke. So this is, we will see why this is bad later on, but in this position you never want, you had to have someone, I think it was MNL who was at cat, at least try to push towards ladder from ladder towards CPL towards jungle, so they can at least set up a crossfire. So now I'm gonna play it again. So we can see this is the strat. When you see the smokes, that this is what they want to do. They want to push towards jungle or connector, try to surprise, try to get close range with these pistols, with the Tech 9s, with the P250s when they have a chance against the fully bought enemy GG team. And now to see how the round goes. So this is like pretty messy now. You also have koosta there with the op, close range against pistols. And this is really important, Skrunk's position here. Now because of how they're set up with 3 players in connector, there's no one jungle. Lucky as well is rotating towards CT spawn, so he's here in a position which will prove to be detrimental for the enemy team. As the clip rolls, he's now behind 3 players. No one knows he's there. They were in a 2v4 actually, so Skrunk gets the initial kill. Stevie gets another one. Skrunk fails to pick up the op there. Right now he's just letting Stevie play his thing because he's really isolated towards the jungle. Stevie gets another great kill, buys more time for Skrunk to move to another position, and from here on Skrunk has a big advantage because the bomb has been ticking as well, and the smoke that MAiNLiNE, I think he was the last player, the smoke that he threw on the C4 wasn't exact, didn't cover the whole bomb. So an example of how you need to be aware as a player, you know, be aware of what the calls that have been made. So the smokes were going towards the side. You have to expect they're going to push towards connector or jungle. You need to have the presence of mind. One of those 3 players, I mean, it's obvious who was in the best position to do it, to go to the jungle, so exactly this type of a thing wouldn't happen. I don't even think there was a jungle smoke in this particular execute, so that player there would have a big advantage also, you know, before they could even get inside the connector and trade with the enemy players.
This was actually, yeah, I think we talked about it during the game as well. This is the Luminosity strat that we said that, well, it's a Peter team, so obviously he would know Luminosity strats. But it's like you mentioned, having the presence of mind to understand what's going on around you, because it's a very clear-cut, like judging from where the smoke trajectory or grenade trajectory is coming from, you can tell what kind of a strat they're going for. They're going to want to block off this part of the bomb site, and they're going to want a bomb plant while pushing forward towards this area. That it's super obvious, and they need to have the presence of mind to not, like you said, stack up with 3 people in connector, because and I think even you could see it in the replay that koosta actually decides to run through the smoke into connector instead of being open in jungle, where he actually would have had an opportunity to definitely pick up a couple of people.
So, a 2-0 for the surprising side, but unfortunate circumstances with one player having a power cut. So that will leave us with a break for about 50 minutes before we go into the last match of today to determine who will be going up in the final tomorrow, which is going to be the Dogmen versus Conquest. So, again, we're going to have a break of about 45 to 50 minutes before that starts. We will see you back here at the top of the hour for the final match of the evening.